Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing? Today we're going to talk a little bit about infield depth. Now, if you're at a younger level of baseball, most times you're going to be dealing with just the one depth, two depth, and four depth. As we get a little bit older, you're going to see more coaches and more teams start using the three depth. And it's important to kind of understand these now. That way, when you get a little bit older, you have an idea of why you're doing it. And these type of things, although you may not think they're a big deal, they can really cost you a ball game or win you a ball game, because usually when you're doing some of these things, it's going to be late in the game, especially when you're talking about a three depth, and especially when you get to professional baseball, they're very important. So just wanted to go over them real quick so infielders kind of understood what they are and have a better understanding. So if they're asked to do it, they'll know what's going on. So the first one is one depth. Now, one depth is basically your normal positioning with nobody on. It's as deep as you can play, still being able to get that guy out at first base, get that hitter out. And depending on who the hitter is, how fast he is, you can move back or in accordingly. So just say for a second baseman, your normal one depth might be right around here on the edge of the grass and dirt. A big power hitter comes up who's really slow, you can push back a little bit into the outfield. Maybe it's a number one hitter, a guy that can really fly and likes to slap the ball. Maybe you come in a little bit. And the same thing for third and second, short and first. So again, one depth is just your regular positioning, as deep as you can get, still being able to get that guy out at first base. Two depth is going to be your double play depth. So coach comes out, gives you a little two. All that means is double play depth. And everyone's a little different. Again, this is going to be determined by the type of hitter that's at the plate, how fast or slow they are. An easy way to figure it out, if your normal positioning's here, it's about 3 steps in and 3 steps towards the bag. It's different for everyone. Some guys are 4 and 4, 3 and 3, some are 2 and 2. So it really depends on the speed of the runner, how quick or slow you are as an infielder. But basically the idea is that we need to move closer to the hitter and also closer to second base, so that we can now turn 2 and make 2 outs instead of 1. Obviously, we need to be a little bit quicker. And the same thing on the corners. Basically, you're just going to be a little bit closer to home plate, just to get the ball quicker and get the ball to second base. The next one we'll talk about is the four depth. The four depth is basically infield in. So we have to cut the run down at the plate. There's a man on third, and it's late in the ball game. We can't let another run score, so we're going to play in our four depth so that we can field the ball and throw the ball to the plate. And typically on a four depth, we're going to play basically right on the edge of the grass. And again, this depends on the speed of the runner. So if we have a really fast guy on third base, well, we might have to play, let's just say right here on the edge of the grass. If it's a real slow guy on third base, well, then we can take a few steps back because we have more time. We always want to give ourselves the most range we can have, but also be able to make sure that when we field the ball, we get the guy out that we want. In this case, if you're playing a four depth, we want to get this man out at third. So we play back enough to give us some range, but also not so far back that we can't cut the run down at the plate. Now, the last one I want to talk about is the three depth, and that's the depth that you don't see a whole lot, especially at younger levels, but as you get a little bit older, you use it a little bit more. Basically, it's in between a two depth and a four depth. So there's a few different times we can use it. The first time you might see it used is men on first and third, and we really need to cut that run down at the plate. There's one out, and the hitter at the plate is pretty fast, and we're not real comfortable with just playing a two depth and turning a double play up the middle because of his speed, so we play a three depth. Basically, if the ball is hit hard right at us, then we're going to turn a quick double play, but we have to make sure we can get that double play. If it's a chopper or a slow roll or something, then we're just going to come up, throw the ball home, cut that run off at the plate, and not let him score. Another time you might use this play is, let's say that we know a team, if you bring your infield in, then they're basically not going to run that guy home. They're going to hold him and make him see the ball through. Well, if we know that they're a team that likes to do that, we don't have to play a 4 depth. We can play a 3 depth, which basically gives us a little bit more range, but also we know that if we bring ourselves into a 3 depth, that team's going to hold that runner, and we'll have a little bit more range, but also if balls hit to us, we know that guy's not going to score. We can cut that run down, not let him score, and then go to first base. And basically your 3 depth positioning is kind of in between a 2 depth and a 4 depth. It's however far back you can get while being sure that you can still get that guy out at the plate. So usually what you'll see, depending again on the speed of the runner, is in between a 2 depth, which is usually right around here, and a 4 depth is in on the grass. Usually a 3 depth is somewhere pretty close to the baseline, a few steps behind the infield grass, and that puts you in a good position to either on a hard hit ball turn 2, or also to be able to cut that run down at the plate, or not let him score. He sees you in close, he's not even going to attempt to go. They're going to see the ball through. And the last thing when thinking about these depths is to make sure that we don't start where we want to end up, because we're always going to take a natural creep step in. And what happens a lot of times, let's just say, for example, we're talking about a 4 depth, and we start right here in the grass, and now we take a little creep step in, and as the ball crosses the plate, now we're right here. Well, we've really cut down on our range, and the only ball we're going to be able to get to is basically a ball hit right at us. Instead of, if we want to end up in a 4 depth right here, well, we can start a few steps back, we take a little creep step in, and then when the ball crosses the hitting area, we're now right on the edge of the grass, and that allows us to go home if the ball's hit to us, but it also gives us a little bit better range so that we'll be able to move a little bit and make a play that's maybe not hit right at us. So these are a couple things. I know if you're younger, you probably haven't really been accustomed to hearing a 3 depth, but it's just something to keep in mind, and to prepare you for when you get a little bit older and you might see this in a game. So hope this helps out. Let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you later.